Welcome to the Ideal Auto Factory. I'm gonna get straight into it. This video is all about the Futaba SCD500KS steering servo. Yes, the steering servos that are directly attached to the wheels. There's no linkages involved, it's just a steering servo. So keep God first, let's get into this video. Now I have my laptop set up right here and I'm going to be giving you my literal thoughts, raw, uncut, of what I feel about these servos as I read through the instruction manual, because there's a lot of speculation on what could be or what may be to come of this, but ultimately this has been in development for some time, and yeah, let's just get into it. Let's see what it's all about. What stands out to me first is that it's called a knuckle servo. That's pretty cool. I like that name. Knuckle servo for drift cars. The weight is 20 grams. You can see from the speed and the torque ratings that it's not that strong of a servo, but apparently you don't need it to be because there's nothing in between to really move. You only have the actual servo to move itself. I'll be honest, I expected that number to be a little bit higher, but also I think this is something brand new, so who knows if they'll get stronger over time if other people adapt to it. Same thing, there were 380 size motors and now everybody's making 380 size motors. I think this is the same way. This is this first one to come out, and there'll be more that may come out. We'll see. What you get in the kit is basically like an upper rod end, a spacer, M2 screws, and an axle shaft. Could you possibly make a adjustable axle out of this? I don't know, but you do get an axle shaft, so hopefully that's not proprietary. You need two of them, and they're specifically made for drift cars. It says you need the latest version of the GYD 560, and then only the 10PX and the 6PV. You need the top of the line remotes, and you need the top of the line gyro, the latest version of them. So you're already in this over $1,000, but for those on whose Futaba setups already, this is just $250 roughly, minus what distributors are going to charge for their shipping and everything else. It says 36,000 or so yen is what this will cost, so there's that. When it comes to precautions, it says 2 steering servos are required for 1 car. Use a transmitter that supports 2 steering servos and a drift car gyro that supports 2 servos. Oh, and then under it, it says this servo requires 2 steering servo mixing. Now, prior to installing the servos, be sure to check the travel direction of the output shaft by operating the transmitter, receiver, and gyro to be used. Okay, so it doesn't have a rotation limiter. If the servo is installed in the 180-degree opposite direction, an excessive load may damage the servo. Okay. So it kind of has that same feel of hey, don't plug it in and have it installed, prior to making sure it's clocked straight first. Just like with a regular servo, you plug it in and you already installed your servo horn, and then whoop, as soon as you plug it in, it shoots to the right or shoots to the left because you didn't center it. That makes sense. Do not insert or remove the servo connector while the receiver power is on. Oh, okay. That's new. Since the S-Bus 2 servo switches the operation mode automatically according to the signal, if the connector is inserted or removed while the power is on, an S-Bus connected servo will be erroneously recognized and may stop. Only run it in 6-volt output. Do not go to 7.4. Yep, don't disassemble or modify the servo. That's a good one there. So you got a signal, and then left servo ground port and the right servo signal port. Wow, that is very different. The way this all connects is already this is different. Okay, so you got the ground port from the left servo and the signal port from the right servo in 2 separate spots. You got the GYD 550. Okay, I see what's going on. So you plug all of that into the GYD. Then you got the receiver port, and then there's the S-Bus, and then you got your receiver, and then you got your ESC and your motor. That already is very different. So you're gonna update it. They're telling you how to update it. Oh wow, literally telling you how to update everything in the manual for the servo. Okay, so we're gonna keep on going. After you've updated, I thought there would be more. So you run through the whole update. Now where's the software? There we go, installation message. So remove, of course, you gotta remove your old steering here. So you're gonna remove your old steering, put the front knuckles on. Oh, they don't even include the ball bearings. Oh, okay, so I guess you could possibly use an adjustable axle. You know, the ones that have a screw on the end. You could probably use an adjustable axle. And then, yep, there goes your wheel hub and the pin. And then they're telling you how to install them. Make sure you do this in the opposite direction. Nice RDX front end here. That's pretty cool. So yeah, there goes the upper rod end that you get with your servo. Attach the conventional ball link to the bottom. Oh, and they tell you how much you need. No more than 4 millimeters. And that's pretty much it. Be sure to turn on the power to the transmitter, receiver, and the knuckle servo, and check that they are in the neutral before installing them. See, this is what I was talking about. Step 9 is very important. And then afterwards, you put the pin through. And then you put thread lock on there. They're telling you how to adjust. And then they'll tell you to install your wheels. Okay. They're telling you how to align your steering. That's pretty cool. Telling you just to do the camber and the wheel width on the car mechanically, and then the toe angle in the transmitter. And you can adjust trail with this servo. So trail direction, you can adjust the trail. Yep, that's pretty cool. Okay, so then you got the drift servo. You got 2 of them. You got the servo mixing here. Mixing from brake operation to steering, mixing from accelerated operation to steering. Wow. So toe, a mode in which the amount of steering servo movement changes depending on the brake operation, regardless of steering operation. That is crazy. Steer, a mode in which the amount of steering servo movement changes according to the steering direction when braking. Oh wow, so you got linear and then you got offset. This is very much a take all of the mechanical tuning out and totally go to electronic tuning of toe angle to pretty much just lock in your best fit Ackerman and how it responds to the throttle and the brakes. Okay, so you got a mixing rate. When you're applying the brakes, set when the mixing will turn on. That is, wow. So a lot to learn there. Definitely would love to see a walkthrough video of all of this. So here goes one, brake to steering mixing settings. So here's the first part, brake to steering mixing settings. And the same goes for throttle to steering mixing settings. So whether you're on the throttle or off the throttle, you get a totally different driving characteristic, I guess. Oh, that's a lot of features there. A whole lot of features. And then you put the gyro settings in there, and then you can have 4 different gyro modes there. So you go into the GYD 560. Okay, so ACT is knuckle servo. When ACT is selected, the setting items for the second servo are displayed. Change the settings, power cycle the gyro. The function will be enabled after rebooting. Neutral adjustment over here for the second servo, neutral adjustment over there for the first one. And then this sets the gyro direction for the second servo. Wow. If it wasn't a lot before, this is a lot now. Okay? Just hear me out. You buy the top of the line everything. Futaba 10PX. This is your second drift kit because you had an RTR. Futaba 10PX, GYD 560, CD, knuckle servos. And you buy the knuckle servos. You still have to get S-Bus. Still got to get the receiver. It was already a lot of money, and it still is. That's just how Futaba runs. To me, it's a lot of money. Let me not say it's a lot of money to everybody. But to me, that's a lot of money on one car. But Then you go in here in all of your settings. Now, it does not say that these settings are the recommended ones. So you have all of these settings plus you're tuning the two servos separately, or you just can have them linked together and they all just turn parallel to each other all the time. But in here, you're getting a manual for the Knuckle Servo, a manual to update the GYD 560 and your remote, and you're also getting a manual for basically all the settings in general on setting up your drift car to drift, all in one on this Knuckle Servo manual. That's pretty much it. You go down here and you have all of these settings. Oh my gosh, that is a lot. I'm pretty sure once it's dialed, it's great, but that's a lot. So what's my final take on it? Like, okay, I see it as it's very interesting. I personally don't see the need for me to have it. Somebody may want it and see it like, oh my gosh, I'm going to drive so much better, or this is something cool to have. It's a new concept. It's something very different. Full electronic tuning, zero mechanical tuning other than track width and camber, right? But overall, I think it's good. I think we need more innovation. And I also believe that this is a step in the right direction as far as RC drift is concerned. Having something that other people can follow after instead of we're always being the one to follow after something. This is my first time seeing something like this. I need you all also let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. How do you feel about the Knuckle Servo from Futaba? And then of course, you know, just overall, are you getting one? Are you on the fence? I know there's talks of like, oh, is this legal in competition? Competition or not, it's out there and Futaba has it. So why they're doing it, I don't know yet. They're Futaba. But for this to be what it is and there being other servos that are out there that just work and you can tune them with regular, traditional, conventional steering systems, this is just another steering system to me. And it plays a major part in how your car can drive. Is it anything natural? Like, is there a car that steers without a rack and pinion in real life? Or with, no, the closest we got is electronic steering, you know, like the electronic power steering in a one-to-one car. So is this like totally innovative? Yes. And then also, is it anything that is going to take us the wrong path? I don't think so. We have the power to spend money on it or not. And I want to know what you think now, because I'm just rambling at this point. And this is a whole community of people who love to drift and all the other things RCs. So let me know in the comments. Let's have a talk. Keep God first. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.